I have no idea. Okay, it's going. Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. It's another Sunday of Swim Moms of New Jersey.
Welcome.
It's been a little bit of a long morning.
Hope everybody's been having a nice weekend. You've had a tough morning?
Well, you know, mom stuff. Dishwasher was broken.
That's the thing about being a swim mom, right? It's not just swim mom.
It's
You're just everything else.
You're
also.
everything else, too. I had a little issue with the Drano, but we're all good now. We're all good now. We're resetting.
We're back.
We're back. It's our 4th episode.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love these, by the way. This is water.
Iced tea.
All right, so what's going on?
So headlines and shout outs. Are you asking me what's going on with me?
Headlines and shout outs. Headlines. Well, you know, yesterday we were at a meet.
We were.
And
which I still can't remember the name of.
Summertime Splash.
Summertime Splash. We were at the Summertime Splash meet, which was a short course meet in our long course season. So what do you think about that?
I loved it. I love that we could get new times because we've been practicing, and like long course practices are a little bit different than short course practices, and sometimes I feel like maybe that month in between kind of affects their times, but it was a good like baseline to come off of, like where are we right now, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love that. And
yeah.
You know, I know a lot of teams in a lot of different places other than New Jersey, they do long course season all year. Like they'll just kind of, well, yeah, they'll have like a random long course meet in the middle of short course season. And we actually did that a couple times where like in January we would have a long course meet. I don't feel like it translates as well as like long course to short course, but I love it too.
I also think it helps kids who are going into like recruiting and stuff because they have an extra like basically meet to get those short course times that people are going to be looking at, right?
Yeah,
so I like, because colleges look at that a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know we are going to be talking about recruiting, but I did want to mention something because yesterday at the end of our meet, somebody had mentioned master swimming. I might consider it. We're considering it for exercise.
I am not a swimmer. You were a swimmer-ish.
Ish. Okay. Ish. We'll put ish in there. Then when I got home, I had seen a headline of somebody in Barcelona who is currently 46 years old and trying to go to LA 2028.
Is this Nicolas Santos?
It is Nicolas Santos. And he swam a 23.3 in the 50 fly.
At 46 or...
46 years old. And he was competing against the current Olympic champion for that. And
wow.
Yeah. So he kept up, like it just shows that it doesn't matter your age as long as you have the will. Yeah. The other thing to mention about him, which is unique, and I think that it probably will help a lot of parents because some kids don't know what they're good at. Honestly, like my kid can be good at one thing 1 month, and then the next month he's good at something else. And so everyone always asks me, "What's his stroke?" I'm like, "What day is it?"
Yeah.
What day is it? But he didn't find his stroke until he was like 32 years old.
Yeah, and I don't think that's unique. And I think that as moms, we kind of think that our kid is a backstroker, or we think that they are a breaststroker. And that just continues to evolve as they grow. And I've experienced that. Like I had Zach as a backstroker, and then he was a breaststroker, and now he's a flyer. But they'll always change. I mean, maybe one day he'll be a backstroker again. I don't know. But
I don't think so. I mean,
we watched his backstroke.
No, he's great at it, but I don't know if he loves it. Does that make sense?
No.
So,
but I love this too. Like, and I do love the whole like just never give up, because just because they're one thing now doesn't mean they're not going to be something totally different, and just because they're not reaching their goals like in the timeline that we've assigned them, doesn't mean that it's like out of the
right. I mean, like
possibility.
If you compare his times, I guess in his 20s, and he like got his best times in his 30s, and now I mean, like forget it. He's trying to go to the Olympics at 48. Can you imagine?
No,
I can't even. That would be the one. Like I think the oldest person so far is Dara Torres as a swimmer.
I am
right?
48, and I cannot imagine.
We're not talking about Olympics. We're talking about masters here.
No, good for him.
Yeah,
good for
him.
Santos.
Shout out to Nicolas Santos, taking it for all of us, doing it for all of us out here.
Making us look bad, but we're proud of you.
We're proud of you. We're proud of you.
All right, we'll use that as inspiration.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have a shout out. We want to shout out all all the swim moms out there that have been supporting us. Like some of you are our friends and we know you, but so many of you we've never met or we just got the opportunity to meet. So thank you so much just for all of your support and love. Like we really are so grateful.
So fun.
And we've been doing this for 3 weeks now, and I don't think we expected it to kind of be what it is today so quickly. And I hope we're still growing and we're still reaching more swim moms out there because it's just fun. It's a lot of, I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having fun meeting everybody from different teams. I'm having fun with you. We're having fun. And it's just a whole new world that's been unlocked, and I enjoy education and I enjoy educating myself on new things, and so this has been like a whole new adventure that I am trying to discover basically on a daily basis, like literally on a daily basis.
And
but
this is like so far outside of my comfort zone. When you suggested this, I was like, I don't know, Rochelle. Like, I'm not sure we're going to do this.
Who better to do it with?
But I'm actually enjoying it so much more than I would have thought that I would. So, but thank you guys. Thank you for being supportive and forgiving. We're not perfect and we're just moms. We're not experts in anything.
That's true.
We are just moms, and hopefully, that's how we're being received. Give us grace.
We're not experts. We're not coaches, although sometimes we think we are. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not really like that at all.
No.
I try not to.
No, you're not like that.
No, I try not to actually. I mean, if he asks me something, I'll say something, but usually I'm like, I love you so much and you did great. Like that. That's my line. Like, you did amazing. I love you so much.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I try not to.
I think what you're articulating though is we do sit through so many practices over the course of their journey as a swimmer, and you just start to know stuff, right?
Oh,
We're not coaches, but it doesn't mean we know nothing.
Oh, I can tell you. I can tell you who DQ'd, who did this, who did that. But it's not my job, so I kind of stay back because I feel like in the beginning I didn't know that part, and when I was kind of giving him advice, I wasn't his safe space, right? And so now I try to be his safe space where he could come to me and I'm not gonna say anything to him about his swimming, just tell him how much I support him.
Love it.
Yeah. Awesome. Anyway, let's talk about supporting. Let's talk about how we're going to support all of you.
Yeah.
With recruiting. June 15th is tomorrow.
Why
is that important?
What a big day. So some of you may not know why that's important, but on June 15th of sophomore year, it is the first day at 12:01 a.m. that D1 and D2 coaches are allowed to actually reach out.
We're back because we were interrupted by a phone call. So what were we
The great thing about being a swim mom is that you are always on call
always
to find people's suits, anything, life, I don't know.
So if this seems a little choppy.
If it was wonky,
yeah, that's why.
We don't normally have to edit. We never have to. We just kind of talk straight through.
We're going to try to put them together. So that's what happened. So anyway, we were talking about June 15th.
June 15th, before we were interrupted.
Correct.
And so we're going to get back to it. So June 15th, trying this again. June 15th is when college coaches, D1 and D2 specifically, are for the first time at 12:01 a.m. able to reach out to athletes, to swimmers. And so up until June 15th, the swimmers are able to reach out to the coaches. They can send emails, they can fill out questionnaires, but there's no contact allowed from the coaches' side until June 15th. So it's a big day, and it looks different for different levels of swimmers, and that's okay. But yeah,
So you mentioned that the questionnaire. Just really quickly, if you guys don't know, you also need, what is it, an NCAA ID?
Yeah, so you have to go to, so if you have a sophomore rising junior, and so again, this is June 15th of the sophomore year, if you have a sophomore now, then they need to sign up for NCAA Eligibility Center account. There are two versions. There's a free version and there's a paid version. I would just go with the paid version. I mean, I think it's $29. I don't think it's a lot, but go with the paid. You could start with the free version if you're not sure if your child wants to swim in college. You could always start with the free version. You have to sign up there, though. That is a big, important step.
Yeah, they can't contact you without that.
It's often where they get the information. So they'll get, and then when your athlete does sign up for that account, make sure they're using their email, their phone number. I say that because as a mom, I don't know. It's just weird having your kid like put their phone numbers out there. And so when he first signed up for the eligibility center, he put my phone number, and I got a couple of text messages from coaches. And I'd be like, I'm sorry, this is not him.
And they don't want to talk to us.
No.
They want to talk to the
But they were
kids.
they were cool.
They were
I'm like, I'm sorry.
understanding.
Well, and actually, in our defense, he had changed it, but I guess like depending on the time that they had pulled that info. So don't make that mistake. We made that mistake. They do not want to talk to mom at all.
No.
No.
So let me ask you a question. What does that call on June 15th look like?
So first, it might not be a call on June 15th.
Okay.
So it very likely in this day of texting is going to be a text message, and it's going to be a request to schedule a call.
Oh.
And so that's for the most part how it worked out. I don't know if that was unique to us, because what was kind of cool was when my son was being recruited, June 15th fell during Olympic trials for swimming. And so the coaches were a little bit like busy with Olympic trials. So I don't know if that's just the normal standard. Again, like I'm not a college recruiting expert.
You've just
this
went
was just
through it
my
as a mom.
experience and his experience. But he started getting text messages from coaches. And
Okay.
a few of them called, but just make sure that the voicemail is ready to receive a voicemail in case that call gets missed. Make sure he's got his phone ready or her phone ready, and yeah.
So, okay, let's say you schedule the call, right? What is that call like? What do you think like, well, not what you think, what was that call like? Like what, the first phone call, what do they talk about? Like what did you tell your son to say or not to say? Did you prepare him?
So good questions. So the first call, I would expect to be awkward a little bit, right? Like these are like 16-year-olds, maybe 17-year-olds. They're young.
Just don't say bro.
They're not
bro.
polished. No, don't say bro. Don't call the coach bro. Or bro.
Yeah. Okay, bro. Okay, bro.
Don't do that. But I would expect them to, they're not going to be polished. It's not going to be a perfect call, especially the early ones. So be okay with that. Like as a mom, you've got to be okay with that. But there are certain things that you can do as mom to just help them prepare and help them make it as good as it can be, and that and they're also like a little nervous. They don't know what to expect, but for the most part, it's the beginning is just like putting out feelers, right? Like the coaches are just want to connect with you. They don't want to connect with you. They want to connect with them. They want to connect with the swimmer, and they want to see like if they might be a good fit. Not just from a time perspective. Like that's the big thing. Like your times might be fast enough to get their attention, but you have got to, like your swimmer's got to sell themselves in the way of like how are you a good person? Like how are you a good teammate? How are you coachable? Like, would you fit into this team culture? And that's more important for some teams than others, but I did find that to be a common theme with the teams that my son was talking to. So, yeah, just don't expect perfection. And they'll get better. Like, it'll get better every time, but those initial phone calls are very much just like a general intro to see if you connect. And just being a swim mom, like sometimes it's really easy to connect with people and like right away, and it's like that's very special. And then sometimes it's like harder to connect with people, and it's okay. Like you're both good people, but like maybe you just don't have as much in common, or like you're just looking for different things. And I feel like recruiting is very much the same way. Like I feel like sometimes your swimmer will connect just very quickly with a coach, and sometimes it might be harder, like depending on your swimmer, depending on the coach, and that kind of will guide the way things progress.
I also think it's important for you guys to know that just because you don't get a call doesn't mean you're not a great swimmer, or like you might have been a fit for that program last year, but not this year because they need to fill certain things, right?
Yeah.
Like they might need a breaststroker, they might need a freestyler, they might need a backstroker. Like, so it's not, you might be amazing at this event, right? And you really want to go to the school, but they already have somebody in that event that's good at it, right? So did Zach, or did your son get a call? Did Zach get a call from the schools that he thought he was going to get a call from?
Mostly, yes. To some extent, no. Like he did put out questionnaire, like he would go ahead before, leading into June 15th, he filled out a lot of questionnaires. We had a spreadsheet of like the schools that he wanted to talk to, kind of ranked in the order in which he was like looking. And like you have to think about, and they have to think about what they want in a school. Like, do they want to go to a super fast program? Do they want to go to a program that has like tremendous potential? You know, I wouldn't, and we've gotten a lot of advice. Like the cool thing is we have a lot of swim moms who've been through it who like have offered us advice, and one of the best advice is like don't follow the coach. Don't go someplace because of the coach. But
they can leave.
Because they can leave, and they do leave. And so, you know, but like, do you want to does he or she want to go to a school that's in a big city? Do they want to go to a big school, a small school? Like, so warm, cold, like, and so I think he had his list, and then reality like happens, right? And so like in his mind, I think he was looking for a school somewhere warm, like down south, and like now he's like, I'm one of the coldest places. So I don't know, but like, and then that it kind of evolved. What he desired kind of evolved also because, you know, he had a meet outside, and he realized he didn't like to swim outside as much. So like they grow and they learn, but yeah, I feel like the questionnaires are really important. That will guide everything. But no, that to answer your question, like I don't think every school that was on his list reached out to him, but that doesn't mean that he didn't like follow up with with an email. Or follow up just to like stay connected, and sometimes it's an email, you know, then they'll go back and forth, but generally, you know, and he had some schools that he didn't fill out a questionnaire for that reached out. And that's where he's going to one of them.
What happens when you don't get the call? Like what, like you're sitting there, it's like a week, 2 weeks, like they're not calling you, right?
Yeah, you can't just sit and wait for the call. Like your swimmer, you have to like encourage them to continue with the questionnaires, to continue to reach out with the emails. You also have to encourage them to have realistic expectations, right? So do your research, help them do their research on like what like level school they should be looking at. Look at the conference times, like all of the actual recruiting consultants, like Coach Renee Lopez, I think I mentioned her in our first episode. They'll tell you that you really need to you know, do your research, understand what like the conference times, like the top 16 in conference, you know, and kind of use that as a guide to where your swimmer would fit best, right? And then he or she should really just, you know, not that they shouldn't have like reach schools, because you also don't know how much they're going to improve. So they should be talking to everybody. They should be sending emails, like follow-up emails, like anytime that there's like an update to give.
Like a new time.
Right. And so they'll follow up, and sometimes they'll get a response, sometimes they won't. But like, don't expect it all to happen on June 15th. That's just the start of the marathon, right? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
I actually really liked her quote, Renee Lopez, that, and it said, pick somewhere, use the broken leg syndrome.
Broken leg test.
Broken leg test, right, to pick your school. Meaning, if you went to swim at the school, and let's say for some reason you stopped swimming, that you would still love being there, and that is kind of like where you would have picked anyway, right? So, because you never know what happens, right? And also, there's so many people transferring now, which is
it makes recruiting challenging.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of transfers.
Yeah, well,
a lot.
But we get into that too.
Yeah, we get into that too. But today we're talking about June 15th. So we had a list actually of on our Instagram, I think, that you could have commented and we would have sent it to you, where it's kind of like a list of the questions that you should ask the coach when they're calling, just some tips for the day, what not to do a little bit, what to do, how to prepare. So you guys can get that there. And I mean, this is just a first of a series of recruiting, episodes that we're going to be doing, because this is just the beginning. Like we said, it's a process. I'm learning so much from you.
And even if you don't have a child who is at this stage, they're going to be there. And even if you don't think they're going to swim in college now, it's probably good to just be aware of these things, because I didn't going into it. We had to do a lot of, we had to educate ourselves on the process. And as a mom, my job was to support, encourage, advise where necessary, and just kind of keep things moving along. But he very much drove that entire process. He owned it, and that's what it's supposed to be. But
and also it's you have to think about between D1, D2, D3, not just by the quality of their swimming, but also by finances. There's a lot of things that differentiate each one, so you have to think about all that.
And also just the level of commitment. It's a lot. I was a D1 athlete. And so it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a huge commitment. And you could have an amazing swimmer, but maybe that's just not what they want to do, and that's okay. So you really have to make sure. Someone gave us advice, and I think we had it posted. Make sure it's their dream they're chasing and not yours. Make sure they're the ones that want to be doing this in college, because it's a lot. They have to juggle academics, they have to juggle swimming multiple times a day, dry land and strength training. There's a lot of traveling involved, and it's not all bad. They get a lot out of it. And I'm super excited for my son, but that's something he wants, and he's always wanted. But not everybody's like that. So just because you want it for them doesn't mean that they want it necessarily. So.
And you know what? I kind of admire the people who can say, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Because that's part of growing up. It's part of becoming your own person. We want to guide them to be the best humans that they can be, right? But at the end of the day, it's their life, and they really have to make the decisions for themselves, because I think that some kids, that's where they start growing up, right? That's when they're no, I don't want this for myself. And that's a huge growth step anyway.
For sure.
So, I admire those kids who can do that at 18 years old.
Yeah. I certainly didn't know it all when I was 18.
I didn't. I just followed the rules, and
And I actually, even though I was an athlete in college, I didn't last, just because of injury, didn't last past my sophomore year. So the broken leg test is real. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because just make sure your child is going to a school that they really want to be at, no matter what, whether swimming was in the picture or out of the picture. And so much to consider. There's a lot to consider when you're making these big life choices. One of the things that surprised me most about this process, though, was how much responsibility is really in the hands of a 16-year-old, then 17-year-old. They are, again, because they don't want to talk. Coaches don't want to talk to parents. They're talking to the swimmers along the way. You obviously want the best for them, but it's how they handle these calls, how they're able to communicate in a confident yet humble way, and really just show the coaches that they would be a good fit for the team, and why. Beyond times is so important. But then beyond that, as they start going on recruiting trips, which we'll talk about at another time, and and then once it comes time to commit, your ideas might not fully align with, and then sure, there have to be guardrails, but you should never be going on a recruiting trip if the price is outside of the range. Right. So figure that all out in the very beginning.
Right.
Don't waste anyone's time. But there's just, they have this is a big decision, and if you think of 16-year-old, I have a boy, so maybe girls are different, but a big decision in the hands of a 16-year-old boy, that's.
But swimming has taught them to be responsible, and it really does put a good head on, I hope, most of their shoulders. So we just gotta let go a little bit.
I had to let go. I had to let go, and he had to grow up. He had to grow up and do things for himself, and and learn how to talk to people.
Don't make me cry. Oh
my gosh, don't start. You were trying to get me yesterday. He had to grow up, and he was an introverted kid, not wholly introverted. He was like, he would appear confident in certain situations, but like by nature was kind of introverted. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for talking about it. But anyway, he was introverted.
It can't be worse than the one-handed fly. Brandon was super mad about that.
But anyway, I think he would even like acknowledge that, to watch him like from that first call, like evolve into like a young man that could like have a conversation with anyone at any time. And then just like fun story, like he went on some recruiting trips in the fall of his junior year, and the first recruiting trip, same thing, like there's so many nerves, and it was a good one, like we really enjoyed it, but like I just remember him being like more the kid that was like listening and observing, as opposed to like being like really outgoing, and like, because he just didn't know what to expect, right? It's so new. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this, is because like it was helpful. I had some other moms that have been through it that had kind of were able to give me like a little heads up and like help me navigate like these situations, and I think that was so invaluable. Like,
yeah,
and
I mean,
so
I learned from you.
So I hope this is helpful to other people, and will continue to be. But
and ask us questions.
Yeah,
like you can ask us questions, DM us, put it in the comments, because there is no question that's silly. I think that this is a whole new world for me, and I'm so glad I have you to like lean on and and guide me, because I mean it's there's a lot.
Yeah.
And everything is always changing. That's another thing.
It is.
Like before there was a limit on how many schools you could do like official visits with. Now there's no limit.
Oh, the rules are always, and they're changing again. Like eligibility rules, like that should have been a headline. Like they're about to change the NCAA eligibility rule. But anyway, because I'm a mom and I forget what I'm going to say, I'm going to finish what I say before I forget what I was going to say. Does that ever happen to you? Like I'll be like, what was I about to say?
Do you remember?
I do remember. Anyway, so when he was on the first recruiting trip compared to the last recruiting trip, like he was at the front, like walking side by side with the coach, like having a conversation, like owning it fully.
Yeah.
And like the transformation from this like shy boy to like this like kid who, or young man who could do this, was like so rewarding. Like that might have been my very favorite part of recruiting, like just watching him evolve.
Transform.
So proud of my boy.
Oh, well, we're all proud of him. You should be proud of him.
Thank you.
Should be proud of him. He's a good kid,
like him.
young man. We're not a kid anymore. Okay, so next topic. We will continue this recruiting conversation. But
yeah, we just don't want to overload with recruiting, because we recognize that not everybody is in this space.
Right.
So tell us too. Do you want more? Do you want less? Like, what else do you want us to talk about?
Sure. But we don't know what you want until you tell us.
So we're just going to talk about what we want.
Okay. Do you want to talk about our favorite things?
Oh, sure.
Okay. You want to go first?
Okay.
Okay.
So a swim mom friend of mine gave me this. I don't think it has to be this brand necessarily, but I do really love it. I think it's Korean, but it's called Chlorine Dive-In Mask, and it's got hyaluronic acid. And so after like a swim meet weekend, when you're just feeling it, I just like sit in the bathtub and I put this on my face, and like you look like a serial killer, but
I love it.
But it feels so good. Like
that way no one will bother you in the bathtub.
We're past that point in life. My kids are at the age where they are not bothering me in the bathtub.
Okay.
It's better for all of us.
Okay, so my favorite thing is going to be a series of favorite things on how to stay cool this summer. Maybe an ice bath, I don't know. But okay, so there was the French Open that just passed, and Arina Sabalenka was using this like thing on her face, and everyone was like, "Whoa, what is that?" Because it was like a huge heat wave, and so I bought it because the heat kills me.
Because you're Rochelle and you buy things.
So yeah, and the heat kills me. So this is what it is. I'm gonna link it for you guys. It is so cool. So I did try this out yesterday.
Okay.
It has 3 attachments. One is just a regular fan. One is a fan where you could put water in it and it mists, okay? And one is like this cooling thing that turns cool like automatically. So here, let me see if I can. You hold this down, right right? Oh wait, did I turn it on? Hold on, here we go. Oh yeah, okay, ready? Watch. I just turned this on, right? This is gonna blow your mind. It blew my mind.
Oh,
right?
I was not expecting that.
Right? Like, oh,
No.
oh my God, it's so cold. It's like, you know what you're getting, and you just need to like on the back of your head.
You showed me this video, and I couldn't figure out what she was doing. It looked like she was doing like a facial routine.
Can you believe it? Like, I just turned this on.
It really just feels good, and it lasts. Like, it's still like
you still feel the cold,
feeling it, even though it's not there.
And honestly, you could put this under your eyes, like if you have bags under your eyes, right? But like at summer swim, are you kidding me? Yeah. And so wait, and the attachment is like super easy. Oh, hold on, let me turn it off. And you just turn that, right? And then you put the next attachment on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really easy to use once you kind of figure it out. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
You're gonna be like in the movie star, like, when they're blowing the wind. Okay, so, sorry. So you press this down, and then you could change the speed.
Oh, okay.
Like.
So for those of you who are watching or listening on Apple Podcasts or driving, so that you're not watching the video, you should really find us on Spotify or YouTube and watch this demonstration.
It's called the Shark Chill Pill. I mean, look at that.
Let me do that again. Oh, I like that.
Right?
That's nice.
Like, I'm always looking for something, and this.
I have one of those little handheld fans, but this
it's not
is way
like
better.
this.
No, and this is actually cold air.
Yes, it's cold, and they have that attachment now to it where you could put mist in there, like water. So then there's a third attachment where you could put water into this container, and then it turns on and it mists you.
So
fantastic.
That is amazing. One of the things that I found for summer swim that I absolutely love, they have. There's like a brand in like the construction world. I don't know. I don't think it's Roku, but it's like similar to that. But it's a big fan that goes like on top of like a construction and it mists out.
Yeah.
That we bought for like summer swim one year, and it was like that was amazing.
Excuse the dog in the background. Sorry.
It's just life.
Just life. Just life. Anyway, so I love this.
All right. So.
And now,
all right, Duke has a confession, apparently.
Our favorite topic. Oh yeah, my dog Duke has a confession. He's confessing that.
All right, so what is your swim mom confession for today?
So this one was hard. This was hard because I was choosing between a few.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the fact that. No, I'm going to change my mind. I just changed my mind. Just changed my mind.
Okay, you can do that.
I was timing personally for a friend in the distance.
Okay.
Duke, stop it. Anyway, I was timing for a friend, and because I don't do this very often, I got in trouble.
Oh no! What happened?
I used my phone.
Behind the blocks?
Yes,
Rochelle.
Well, it was a 500. It was a 500. And then the lady walked over, and she was very mean to me.
Oh.
She was very mean to me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, but like I had a call. Like,
I know, but they do that because there's creepy people who take pictures.
But I wasn't like.
I know.
I was like, hello? Oh, I'm timing. Like, I gotta call, Like,
so it's funny you say that because yesterday I was about to time for distance for Nate, and he and Brandon were swimming next to each other, and they looked so cute, like behind the blocks, and I almost pulled out my phone. I'm like, no, Renee, you can't take the picture, even though it's amazing.
I got reprimanded.
Okay, well, you learned. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way.
Yeah. I just don't put me as a timer. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you were
ribbon
helping out a friend,
ribbon
too, right?
writer. I'll do ribbon writer. I'll do, what is it called? When you give out
the ducks?
I could do ducks. I can do anything that I'm not standing one place because I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, are you shocked about that one? No. I can't stand one place.
Well, I'm glad you learned your lesson.
What's your confession?
My confession today is that I'm a little selfish in that, like, whenever there's a travel meet, I don't want to bring anybody but me and my swimmer. Like, I want it to be just us because we like bond and it's like nice and it's sometimes, especially once they drive, you don't get those opportunities. I don't want to share. I don't want the attention to be like, I just want it to be us.
One parent.
Yeah, and so I'm sorry to my husband, but like my confession is that like sometimes I make it in a way that it has to be just like, oh no, like this one has to be in schools and someone has to stay home and it has to be you.
Oh, so, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna take that advice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take that advice as long as I can have them there. But yeah. So anyway, we'll link our favorite things.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all
next week.
Next week for episode 5.
Ooh,
Oh my
look at
God,
that.
can you believe that?
I can't.
I can't. High 5. And sorry
Thanks,
about the
guys.
choppiness today because,
No, yeah, we're just,
real life.
Yeah, this is real life.
Real life.
Dogs and
my dishwasher
kids.
works now.
Dogs and kids.
Dogs and kids and dishwashers.
All right, thanks everybody.
Bye.